Hey y'all, welcome to a very special episode of THKD TV. Why is it special, you might ask? Because I have the illustrious, the lovely, the talented Mrs. THKD here with me today. And today, what are we talking about? It's kind of a Valentine's Day edition. Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes, I thought we should talk about dating and all those fun things.
From a metalhead's perspective.
Yeah.
That's why.
We're going to tell our story.
It's not the usual happy horse shit here. This is a whole different happy horse shit. So, okay, as some of you know that have followed me for a while, you know that I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa. And back when I was growing up, being into metal was not an easy thing to do. Especially if you were like me and went to fucking Catholic school. And then it was a really hard thing to do because... Well, first of all, there were no girls that were into metal back then. And so, the ones, there were, 5 that were into metal. 5 girls that were into metal in Des Moines, probably. And they all were, immediately had boyfriends the minute it was known. So, from a romantic perspective, being a guy that was into, metal and comic books and fucking Dungeons and Dragons and shit. Yeah, that just... What are you doing? Why are you whining?
Sorry, you guys also get to deal with our dogs.
Our whiny dogs,
us.
yes.
Yeah, we've got an old whiny one and a young squeaky one.
Young squeaky one, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So, the whole, idea of me even dating was just, non-existent. It just was never even, a possibility when I was, a teenager or whatever. Maybe if I had gone to public school, I don't know, but I'm pretty ugly, so I'm not sure it would have mattered. Being into the things I was into and then being ugly on top of it is just a no deal.
he just had Kramer hair.
It's a deal breaker all around.
He had some Kramer hair and some Cosby sweaters. It was a little rough.
Well, yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It's not easy being green. Now you have to tell your story because that's mine. It was
okay.
It was non-existent. It just wasn't even a thing.
Well, I grew up in California, in the Bay Area, so I pretty much had good chances of dating somebody in the metal scene when I got older to that point. But anybody who lives in California and the Bay Area knows how overcrowded it is, and so I had to get out of there. I also have some family in Des Moines, per chance, and so they... Excuse me. So I decided to move there because it was less expensive. But as much as I had got into the metal scene in my 20s, it was very easy, obviously, to go to shows at any time, in the Bay Area. So I wanted to make sure that I could still attend metal shows for bands aside.
The dog digging in the couch next to us, just so you know what's going on. Nothing
what was
weird.
I saying?
You were saying you had a chance to date somebody in the metal scene when you got to that point.
Yeah. So anyway, I did some searching online and found somebody who wrote for, the genre of metal and its fun world. And I asked him what the metal scene was like in Des Moines. I think I just typed in Google metal Iowa, and it was just one of the articles that he had written before that I was able to go into. But anyway, so I emailed him and asked him about the metal scene and asked, if it was in fact all Slipknot all the time. And he responded very whatevs about it. And I'm like, all right, this guy's an asshole. So, whatever, and all
that was a lengthy email I wrote.
Yeah, I know, but it was so matter of fact.
Telling what shows and stuff that we'd had.
I understand, but it was really matter of fact.
Yeah, well,
Trying to be all professional and shit. Anyway, so where was I? See, I keep losing track.
So you wrote me, I wrote you back.
Oh, okay. So I moved to Iowa a few weeks later, and I moved there right around my birthday. It was either on or after my birthday, right around there. Anyway, so it's July 25th. And I found out that my friends were going to be playing a show in Des Moines. Who was it, Josh?
Impaled.
Hey guys. Anyway, so I emailed him and I said, "Are you going to this show?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll be the funny-looking, bald-headed guy in the front with glasses or something like that."
Yeah.
So
Sounds about right.
that was it. I still didn't know what this man looked like because he had all of his Cavolt pictures, his black metal. I'm wearing a vest, and you can't see me, just a shadow of me because I'm so dark and spooky. So, and in the meantime, I found out later on that Josh looked me up, and I don't know, was being a creeper.
I was not being a creeper. Shit, man.
And he found I think he found...
Your MySpace.
Yeah, my MySpace, because we were that old. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. We went to the show. The show was amazing.
It was very good.
But I do have to say that Josh and I talked most of the time.
Yeah.
Mostly me talking and him listening and pretending like
I'm
he
a good
was
listener.
It was a lot of, oh, okay, cool. And anyway, so that was kind of that. And we exchanged phone numbers that night. And the next day, while I was working at the CD warehouse, he texted me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unheard of these days, doing that so quickly and whatever. I don't know, it was just pretty awesome.
It was my excitement over, like, meeting somebody that was attractive and down to earth and understood where I was coming from, like, right away. That never happened. Like, being in Iowa for me, like I said, being in the social environment that I was in and what have you, but then versus being into the things I was into, it was just dating or meeting somebody that was cool was just like not even a thought in my head, at that point, Here's the thing, women in Iowa, they want the guy that fucking listens to horrible, shitty fucking music.
Western.
Now, some country is good, but they like the shitty, and we're talking about the shitty country music here.
Yeah, I'm talking, the new stuff, the poppy.
Yeah, I don't know any of their names,
country.
but the shit we're talking about. So they want the guy that's into that, or like, the fucking metal that gets played on the radio station or whatever. And they gotta and they fucking love college football and shit like that. It's like, oh, I'll never be that, I was never gonna be that person no matter what. So for me, it was, and not to say that I didn't date anyone, I did, but it was just not, there was just no good experiences there,
One didn't know what an immigrant was.
That's true, but that's still.
Anyway.
But like from like whenever you first start to notice girls, junior high or middle school or whatever, I guess maybe, I don't know. From like through college, like, yeah, there were instances of me dating people here and there or whatever, but it was just never a good experience. It always was like cool at first and then it just went to shit, kind of thing. Some faster than others, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, I was very excited to meet somebody finally that seemed to be along the same lines as me. So yeah, I didn't like wait a week or whatever to fucking text her. No, I did it the next day because I was excited.
Which was awesome.
The rest is history.
Yeah. So, okay, why does this matter? This matters because we all know that most metal shows are a big sausage fest. So
It's gotten better, though.
It's gotten a little bit better, but if you ever saw the bingo game that I created that Josh posted at one point...
I'll put a link in the description box for those that have not gotten to play
amazing.
concert bingo.
Yeah, one of the boxes was girls who just went with their boyfriends because they didn't want to be left alone, but they have no interest in what they're there for. So that's what I think a lot of the problem is with the girls that are there, that they're not necessarily, they don't really care that much, and they're usually with a dude. Or there's like the slutty girls, who just want to hoe it up. Hoe it up on the whole train.
Yeah.
So I think that there wasn't a lot to choose from at these shows ever, especially in Iowa being even smaller amount of chicks compared to dudes at these shows, if people show up.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could go anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been to shows where the place, like Harry Mary's or places like that were packed. I've been to shows where it was like me and fucking 15 other people too. You know, you never knew. It was always a crapshoot.
Yeah. So I think a combination of that and some of the album covers and that kind of stuff where it's some nun blowing a fucking goat on top of a mountain that has a lot of trees for some reason, and lightning, and dudes in loincloths.
Yeah, why not?
But the chick that's in there, she's got these huge tits, like, just ridiculous, like what the chick looked like in Heavy Metal. It just ridiculous tits.
Ridiculous.
So, I think that there's like this, you have the smaller population of chicks, and then you have this imagery that you grow up with, and you think, I'm gonna go to the show and I'm gonna find fucking Lita Ford or whoever you were jerking off to.
Jarkin.
Jarkin.
Whoever you were jerking off to.
Anyway, jerking off to.
It wasn't Lita Ford.
It wasn't Lita Ford.
Well, she was pretty hot back in the day, I guess.
Yeah, she was in her prime. So anyway.
I don't know if I was ever jerking off to her at all.
Always after me, Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
So, I also don't want to say that Josh was lowering his standards and didn't pick the girl who has the big tits, who's thin and all that. It wasn't anything like that. He saw past that point. I mean, I was a lot thinner back then, by the way, but that's beside the point. I think it was being able to see that I had something in common with him and that I wasn't a total jackhole, and we had a lot in common. I mean, a ton.
That's true.
So, I think that's what it is. It's not, like I said, it's not lowering your standards, it's opening your horizons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm sure the two chicks you dated before me were thin, right?
Yeah.
Boobies.
Yes and no.
One was flat.
One was yes, one was no.
Oh. Poor
like the two
fucker.
somewhat serious ones, yeah.
So I got like in the middle then. That's what happened there. Is okay, cool.
Sure.
Just enough.
Oh, they're
Just
wonderful.
a handful.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
I've never had any complaints.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to this timeline thing. So, I moved there in July. We met September or August.
September was
September.
was the impaled show. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Okay, we got the poster somewhere. So then we went to Oktoberfest in September because that's what they do there.
It's Iowa, folks. We can't
Yeah.
help it. We can't help ourselves. Any excuse to drink beer, we're probably going to move it forward in the schedule a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird.
Not much else to do there. It's Iowa, for
So-
Christ's sake.
And then by January, we were renting an apartment together.
Yeah.
Before I was staying with him a lot at John's house. Hi, John.
To John Mega. Yeah.
Anyway, so, we moved in quickly. We got married probably, a year and a half or so later.
Yeah, because it was, April 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, not
Yeah,
long.
it was really quick.
So we met in September 2008, right?
Yeah.
And then by April 2010, we were married, so, yeah.
That's fucking quick.
It all worked out in the finish.
Yeah, because we're coming up to our 9-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, this coming April.
Yes.
So, and then the 10th, we're going to Vegas
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
to renew our vows
Yes.
at the Kiss Chapel.
Yeah, but still there by then, hopefully.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they fucking are
Well,
on the end
since
of the
they're going to
road
retire,
tour.
they have to keep the Kiss
Yeah.
Chapel open so they have some income still.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So all in all, the point is broaden your horizons.
And don't lose hope if you're in
Yeah.
the situation that I was in, because, last time we were in Iowa, we met a kid. Jed, I think was his name, I believe, at Mayhem in Ames. And, we talked metal for a minute while he was ringing us up there. And, I was like, I wonder if he's in the same situation that I was in when I lived in Iowa, like being into this shit and not having like any females express any similar interest. I was like, because here's a nice, good-looking kid, and I just, I was not nice or good-looking when I lived in Iowa, so that part of the situation I'm not too sure about. But I'm just saying, is it hard for kids like dudes now, growing up there and being into that stuff as it was for me, or is it better? I don't know. Let us know in the comments if it is, if you're watching this, if you happen to see this for some reason.
Anyway, that's pretty much everything about us.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, this whole gig.
Yeah.
Is don't lose hope if you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. There's somebody, and now with the internet, I'm sure it's even easier than when me and her first, even than when me and her met online. Because I mean, shit, technology's gotten even farther in the almost 10 years it's been.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't lose hope, guys. If you're out there, like I said, if you're out in the middle of nowhere like I was, there's somebody out there for you. There really is. You gotta try a little harder than everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't settle for some chick who's always being like, oh God, you're doing another metal show.
Yeah, or the ones I love is when the dudes would take those girls to the metal shows, and then they just stand there like with the worst look on their faces, like I'd rather be anywhere in the entire planet but here.
And they're wearing white pants.
Yeah.
You know that they don't belong.
Yeah, that's the white pants, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over. It's all over for you, white pants.
Unless you're Andrew WK or
you don't belong here, poser.
Alright. Well, I think that's it. I think we've babbled long enough.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, guys, I hope you got something out of this. We enjoyed talking about it. Let us know in the comments. Like I said, what's it like out there for a pimp in the metal scene? I don't know. I have no idea.
Ask me chick questions.
Yeah.
I'll answer anything. I don't care.
Yes, our lives are pretty much an open book, so.
Yeah, we don't care.
Ask away. Tell us how much we suck, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Do what you got to do.
Do you.
For realsies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching.